preschool friends, it's Miss Katie. I am someone who works at the preschool with your teachers, and sometimes I make videos to teach you things. So today we're going to talk about why we have to do school on the computer, why we're not able to go to the building and go inside and see your classroom yet, why we can't play with our friends in our classroom, and why we just have to do school on the computer and talk to our teachers that way. So I bet you've heard some big words recently, like a virus or pandemic or COVID-19. Those are words that the grown-ups are using a lot. And what that kind of means is that there's lots of germs everywhere right now. And it's not safe yet to go back into our buildings. We can't sit by each other at school, and we can't go into our rooms with our teachers because there's a lot of germs everywhere. And so today I'm going to read you a pretty cool story called Georgie and the Giant Germ. And Georgie's kind of feeling sad that he has to do school on the computer and that he doesn't get to go and hug his teachers or play with the, toys with his friends. So I'm going to read you this story. So it's called Georgie and the Giant Germ. Georgie woke up excited to go to school. As he bounced down the stairs, his mom said, "Georgie, no school today. A germ is going around that makes people sick. We have to stay home until the doctors make sure the germ is gone." When he went to the kitchen for breakfast, his mother said, "Georgie, with this big germ, we are going to need to be really careful to wash our hands before we eat and when we come in from playing outside." Georgie looked at his hands for a long time, but he couldn't see anything on them at all. This was very confusing. And I bet some of the things that our parents and our grandmas and our friends are saying is kind of confusing right now. Not going to school made Georgie feel really sad at first. He missed his friends and his teacher. Then he got to spend the whole first day with his mom, and she even let him play some video games. But then he stayed home from school the whole week, and the whole week after that too. And it started to feel like a really long time. He wasn't even allowed to play outside with the kids in his neighborhood. Everything felt very different. This is Georgie looking out the window, and he looks kind of sad. "Ooh, what's that?" "Why can't I go back to school?" he asked his mom. "The germ is still out there, Georgie," she said. "Everyone has to stay home until it's gone." Even though he still couldn't see the germs on his hands, the germ had started to feel really big. Bigger than his house and bigger than his school. He wanted it to go away. And that's how I'm kind of feeling too. I wish it would go away so we could go back to school. As the days went by, Georgie had a lot of feelings. Sometimes he felt happy he didn't have to go to school, but most of the time he felt sad and mad and scared. "I just want to see my friends," he cried. "Why won't the germ just go away?" His mom was acting grumpy too. "Stop complaining," she huffed in a loud voice. This made Georgie worried. What did I do wrong? He thought. His mom was busy a lot. She used to spend a lot of time reading to him, giving him hugs and helping him feel safe, but now she always seemed grouchy and told him to play. I wish she was like she used to be, he thought. His tummy started to ache and he felt like crying. Then one day he heard the word virus on TV when he wasn't supposed to be listening. What's a virus? Is that the same as a germ? He wondered. How big is it? Will it come to our house? Georgie had a lot of questions, but he didn't want to ask his mom. He thought she might get mad. He started to feel squishy by the germ, and it caused a lot of worry. He wondered if it was his fault his mom was grumpy. Maybe he hadn't done something right. Had he forgotten to wash his hands? before dinner the other night? He worried that he might have brought the germ into their home. How could something he couldn't see seem so big? I hate this germ, he thought. Later on, his mom apologized. Georgie, I'm sorry. I got angry at you. This germ makes me feel worried, and sometimes I make a mistake and yell. I bet it scares you when I'm acting grumpy. Georgie nodded and felt like crying. Is it going to hurt us? He asked. Is that what you think? She asked quietly. He nodded. I'm strong and healthy, Georgie, and so are you, she said. But what if you get sick? He asked. Well, his mom said, sometimes people do get sick from germs, and that could happen. It's not fun to be sick, but our bodies know how to fight the germ. Remember when you've been sick before? Georgie nodded and looked up at her. He did remember. He had to stay in bed and felt bad, but he got better. His mom swooped him into his arms. He loved the way she smelled and snuggled him close. Georgie, she said, we want people to stay safe and healthy. That is why we're not going to school right now. And some people aren't going to work. And we hope the germ doesn't spread. He's getting a big hug from his mom. While we are at home, doctors and nurses and scientists are working hard to get rid of the germ. Georgie nodded, but he was still sad. I miss my grandpa, I miss my teacher, and I miss my friends at school, he said. I know you miss them, Georgie. It's okay to be sad and to talk about it with me, said Mom. Since we are missing them, how about we let them know that we are thinking about them? I know they really miss you too. Georgie's stomach stopped hurting, and suddenly he had a lot of energy. He jumped up excitedly. I'm going to draw a picture for my teacher to show her when I get back to school. And off he ran to the crayon box. Georgie drew the doctors and his mom fighting the germ. And in his picture, his mom was so big, she almost filled the whole paper. Georgie felt safe and strong. He called out to his mom, the germ isn't so big after all. So you might be feeling like Georgie. I know I am sometimes. I'm feeling really sad. Sometimes I'm bored. Sometimes I'm frustrated when I have to do school on the computer, and it's hard not to be able to hug our teachers or to play with friends. And we're hoping we get to do those things soon, but we're not sure when. So I wanted to show you a little experiment about germs. So I'm going to have my son Jackson help me. So first, I'm going to show you this bowl. And this bowl has pepper in it. And we're going to pretend the pepper is germs, like in the story. Do you see the pepper, Jackson? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is what Georgie was talking about. A whole lot of germs are everywhere right now. And so, Jackson, go ahead and stick your finger in there. Go ahead and put one finger in there. So the germs don't move. And there's a whole bunch of germs on Jackson's finger now, the pepper. I don't know if you can see it too good. Okay, put your finger back in. So the germs are spreading, they're getting everywhere. So that's why we can't go to school right now, because otherwise we would be getting germs everywhere. But something we can do at home to help with the germs, this is a little bit of soap. Jackson, go ahead and dip your finger, just one finger, in the soap. Get it really good in there. Okay, so now Jackson has a whole bunch of soap on his finger, and he's gonna put it into the germs, into the pepper bowl. And I don't know if you can see this. When he puts his finger in, all the pepper spreads out, it goes away. The soap is fighting the germs. So that's why we're washing our hands so much. And it's important to do that so the germs don't spread and get on everything. Thanks, Jackson. Go over there for a little bit. So hopefully we'll be able to get back at school soon and be able to play in our buildings. But right now we have to stay at home and learn on the computers with your teachers and with your friends on the screen. And Maybe watch some more videos with me teaching you about things and about feelings. And if you're feeling sad or bored or angry about the germs and the virus, you should definitely talk to a grown-up or your teacher about it.